I was thinking when I first noticed the Kimberly T rails back in the day, one of the first thoughts that I had about it was, well, not the first, but one of them, was when I started to think about what are the possibilities of things that I could, just on my own, discover, thinking about it, that would be possible with the use of something like nanoparticulate metals of the same size being breathed into the population. Like, what could be the purpose for that, and what could be done using that tech? And right away I thought it would be for control, like crowd control, as well as, it could be crowd control or individual control. Since then, I've discovered that there's a lot other angles to this control aspect, but just in the direct physical sense, it's true. People are not, people are not terribly conductive electrically. We operate on electricity, but we're not like a piece of copper. Our body does not conduct power that easily, as a general rule, because we're mostly water, and water is not very conductive, other than the electrolyte that might be in it. That's, when you're making hydrogen, you use electrolytes, so the water will conduct the electricity through the water and give you your hydrogen, your oxygen. But our body is not terribly efficient as a conductor, unless, now, if you're breathing nanoparticles of metal every single day, perhaps if you're young, your entire life, you've never known air that was clean. You've breathed that stuff your whole life. It's toxic metals. You're breathing it so that your digestive system can't filter it out, so that your blood-brain barrier can't filter it out. It's so that it will get into your bloodstream and fill up your body. That's pretty fucking obvious if you think about it in any logical way, and that is what's happening, and that is the result of a lot of physical ailments, but it's not the main purpose of the damn stuff, if you ask me. The cell phone network and the Wi-Fi systems and all of the electronic Y-gigs, the purple lights and everything tie in, because there's photosensitive cells in our skin and all. It's a long rabbit hole to go into, but all the tech is there, and it checks as possible, right? Radio wave frequencies, let's call them right, but just not necessarily radio wave, microwave, ULF. All these different electrical type of frequencies have resonance points. Even high frequencies have resonance points with lower frequencies. And at those resonance points, energetic effects will happen. And you've seen the wine glass break. You've seen the cymatics. That's, perfect examples of the proof of what I'm saying there. Okay, so you take that a step with people filled with particulate, not just particulate, but conductive metal particles that are all of the a uniform size, which makes them all antennas with the same wavelength frequency. So when they become resonant, it's not just a piece of metal inside of a living thing that's become resonant. It's a billion pieces inside them that's become resonant. You think that might be able to put a little jank into your nervous system, having these metal conductive pathways filling your body, overlaying your nervous system through your blood, through your lymphatic system, clogging your lymphatic system, and then living in a constantly microwaved and irradiated area. What's that? Wow, the sun. It's been rain. As well as the light things, the purple lights and the Y-gig, Wi-Fi, all that crap. That was one of the first things I thought of is for beam weapons, really. I thought, once the population is filled with this stuff thoroughly, to where there's no doubt every man, woman, and child is completely filled up to the top with this crap, for one, they're going to be handicapped. guaranteed. They'll still be able to function, but they'll be handicapped. There will be something handicapping them, whether it's your simple case of COPD and Raynaud's, or whether it's, multiple sclerosis and type 2 diabetes or whatever. You will be disabled from it, but that's still not the point of it. It makes you controllable and it makes you weak, but that's still not the point of it, right? What did I do there? I touched the thing. I think it's still recording though, so okay. In a direct sense, they can just equip, the police now with electronic phasers, kind of like you'd see in Star Trek. It shoots a frequency that resonates with the particles that they know everybody is filled with. And all that has to happen is that wavelength interacts with the particles in your body, and you get pain in every point in your body drops you to the ground instantly. You can't stand, you can't walk, you can't run, you can't scream, you go blah, and you fall on the ground. Because you've electrified all of those particles. You are filled with conductive pathways for specific frequencies of probably millimeter waves is my guess, but I don't know for sure if it's a higher frequency, lower frequency. It's kind of irrelevant because the functionality of that system is still the same no matter what the frequency is. You could have a 1 millimeter frequency wavelength, and fill somebody with 1 millimeter pieces of metal and then turn it on and it will drop them to the ground as soon as the electricity hits them. It's like the electric chair in every cell, right? Over your nervous system too, because these particles are so small, they are affected by I'm talking micromagnetic and electric currents, micro ones. So they align themselves magnetically when electricity goes through them, and electricity goes through them from frequencies generated by Wi-Fi, cell phones, Y-gig, all those things. So we're constantly in it. We're constantly being electrified. When my Morgellons symptoms first started kicking on, one of the things that I noticed all the time, and it'd drive me nuts, and I still haven't, but it's altered some now because I've burnt some of that crap off of my skin. It's the fake skin, and it picks up frequencies because it feels like static electricity will just descend from who knows where. Static electricity will just suddenly smother me. Feel like when you pull the socks out of the dryer with some sheets, and you can feel the static electricity on your arms. It feels like it's blanketing you, kind of. Well, imagine that over your whole body, over your face, over your mouth, over your throat. So it's literally feeling hard to breathe, as if static electricity is choking you. And then add to it the banding effect of the strands that are growing through your skin, around and around. A radial banding around my arms and my legs at times, around my neck especially, over my eyebrows and over my forehead and my head. So I can only say what's logical because I'm an INTP, and INTPs are all about their logic. I wouldn't say these things if there was any form of illogic in them. It's not illogical to think that waveforms interact with metals. We have radios and antennas and they work, so we know this to be true. You can scale it up or scale it down, and waves across the board have the same common factors about how they behave and how they interact. And right there, why would you fill the bodies of billions of living people and animals and plants, for that matter, with nanoparticles of the same size of conductive non-ferrous metals? Why would you do that? What could be the possible use? Well, after everybody is completely saturated and hobbling themselves around to just try and survive because they're completely been, hobbled. We've been hobbled. Then it's a lot easier to wrangle them. Like, what if you wanted to confine everybody to a certain area? Say you wanted nobody to travel the I-5 corridor, right? I'm on I-5 right now. Let's say all along here, you said, hey, we're announcing a lockdown, nobody go anywhere, you're not allowed to travel on the interstates, and they're controlling it. Some people might still try and do it because this is America, goddammit, and I'm gonna get my guns and blah, 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 blah. Well, then you'd need this army force to patrol the highways and keep everybody off of it. Oh, but you wouldn't. You wouldn't now, because your population is completely saturated with the nanoparticle conductors that will pick up the frequency from these signal generators that go to the antennas that are directed onto the interstate system, and they've got their routers and their extra whatever they would be. I'm not exactly sure, but those silver boxes that are at all the intersections and along the highways now that they've put in, they're like stainless steel, power boxes. They look like communications boxes, large steel ones with a door on it, with a handle that locks, some vents on the side to let the heat out or whatever. Those things. Those what keep it all on, connected and online. There's probably backup power supplies in there too. So if there is some kind of power outage, all these things got backup power supplies, so the cell grid stays running. But I digress. No, I didn't digress. That frequency can interact with its antenna. It's antennas that it's tuned to, which probably is the same as the size of the nano Mork and Mindy particles. The Mork and Mindy particles that we, get to inhale all day and night, every day and night, except for when it's actively raining to the point that they don't put it there because it washes it out of the air. And even then, there's a different thing that they will spray, Once one system is in place, once that delivery system was in place and people, nobody was talking about it anymore. Oh, we've all conditioned them. They accept it now. Once you accept that is a thing, and see, I know what it is. It's a contrail for an airplane. They shot on TV. I'm smart. Once that's in place, the John Q. dipshit, and everybody else in the country apparently, well, let's never think about it again. And the sprayers of the shit can spray whatever they fucking want. The only thing that's gonna make people take notice is if what they're spraying out is, like toxic puke green or something, or fucking, immediately causes pain, and then people might take notice. But I feel fine as 10,000 chemtrails are sprayed over. I'm gonna go get my Ambien and my fucking inhaler and go to the park and play with the grandkids. Yeah, that's what's going on. What a shit fucking stupid land we have. I'm gonna go vote. I'm gonna vote and help change things and make it all better here in America. We'll make America healthy again with T-Rump. See, I voted for Trump so that way we can make America healthy again. Yahoo! Where are you guys going? I'm coming in the wrong fucking way. Anyway, this isn't exactly where I was going to. I just got sidetracked because I had to pull over here because I'm getting a little bit back up there. I think about this shit. It's real. These things are real. Those towers being put in are real. And it would be as easy as simple and easy, as putting little transmitters in the LED lights that are along the freeways and the roads in the neighborhoods. Why would you have to have switch to LEDs? Think about that. What's an LED do? Well, it's a light, sure. But an LED is also a diode, because it's a light emitting diode. So the LEDs, high-powered ones, are capable of making high-powered DC at every fixture, at every light. Everywhere there's an LED light, especially the high-powered, you can have high-powered DC. Now you might think, what's that mean? We're not using it. We're saving power by having LEDs only use half the wavelength. Well, that gives you another half of a wavelength to do something with. Gee, what could you do with half of a wavelength of high-powered DC power? I think you could make pulse wave square wave pulse transmitters? Microwave type of pulse transmitter, that send out a frequency with high power on every LED light. The LED light could be a weapon in and of itself. All these things were, discovered by weapons research. All the greatest things in life are discovered by, trying to find ways to harm people. Everybody knows that. Let's go join the army. Yay, for freedom. Come the fuck on. Don't get me started on the fucking military either. They're just, who can be that stupid in this day and age? Who can be so fucking stupid they think they're defending us and helping in some way by, going and murdering people on the other side of the fucking world while your family is sprayed with poison at home, and all you gotta do is not acknowledge it and you get paid. Hey, I don't have to pretend my cancer's from something else. Oh, look at the money I make in the military, jerk. Fucking whatever. What a fucking crock. That's how bad it is. That's how bad the situation is. These, every LED light along this highway, in your town, in your neighborhood, at the intersections, if you wanted to corral the population in the city, you just turn on the beams at the intersections, and nobody can drive on the freeway. Why? Because as they approach it, their skin begins to burn, and they become completely dysfunctional, because every particle in their body is being electrified by the signal. It like you're inside of a microwave oven. Hello, you ever put aluminum in a microwave? It burns. Fill your body with aluminum particles. Go walk through a highly charged microwave area that's tuned to the frequency of those particles. You will burn. You will burst into flames. You can literally cause people to burst into flames with this technology. I mean, that is common fucking sense. I didn't fucking, you have to look into a paper that was released or, leaked or something in order to come up with that conclusion. I got that by deductive reasoning and simple logic about waveforms and electricity and what we know to be true about microwaves and wave interactions. It's that fucking simple. It's not rocket science. I'm not a genius. I'm just a logical person. But that is what's happening. If you don't think it is, it's just because you would rather not believe it. And, I wouldn't like to believe it either, but not believing a thing that's harming everyone doesn't do anything about it. It's still harming everyone. I don't know if knowing these things helps. It might make it worse. Now that I know, oh God, now it sucks because I can see it happening and now I feel bad about it. I wish I could do something about it and I'm troubled. You're troubled either way. Be troubled for something. Motherfuckers.